Fingers crossed.
Or you need to have 3 magazines with 1 live round. Go!
Fire using inert or dummy round. The hurry up challenge. Time, 9 seconds.
That's not gonna happen.
Let's get this challenge going. All right, stand by. Threat. Fingers crossed. Choo, that was horrible.
Hey everybody, I'm Kennedy and this is Baker, and welcome to Intuitive Defense. The video clip you just saw is the challenge we will be going over today in this episode of our coaching video series. We will be reviewing the failed noob challenges of Season 2, determining what mistakes were made and the corrective actions that you can take to complete these challenges, helping you to become a more well-rounded shooter.
These techniques and tips are what we have learned and taught others in the past. So for some, they may not work, but I'm willing to bet for the vast majority of you, you will benefit from these videos.
The format to these videos is that the shooter, in this case Baker, will be a passive participant, only responding to instruction or commands from the instructor.
What that means is that the shooter, me, won't take any action on my own, as a new shooter should.
The reason I am the instructor in this video is because I passed the challenge in the new video we are referencing, First Time Go. Baker did not. He bumbled it. So it is on me to help my friend become a better shooter by passing on my knowledge to him in order for him to beat the challenge next time.
And with that being said, let's get on with it.
All right, shooter, you ready for instruction?
Yep.
Fantastic, stand by. All right, so what we have here in my hands is the actual challenge paperwork for the Hurry Up Challenge. The very first challenge from the very first episode of Noob Season 2. The very first episode in which Baker failed at. Go ahead, hey, loser up front, raise your hand.
Hey, that's me, I'm
hey,
a loser.
That's the guy that lost. So what we have here, it's a very simple challenge, which makes it even funnier why Baker failed it. It is essentially a combat reload drill, okay? He's gonna be shooting from the 10-yard line. He's going to be shooting at these 3 targets right over here, but for this target and for this challenge, he's only going to be shooting at the pink silhouette target in the middle. The time for this is 9 seconds. That's not a lot of time, but it's not too little time. This can realistically be done. And the last thing, and most important about this challenge in order to complete it, are you need to have 3 magazines with 1 live round in each magazine as your loadout. So just to give a little bit of background for anybody that doesn't know, a combat reload is whenever a firearm goes completely empty of all ammunition. In a pistol, that's whenever the slide locks back to the rear on its own, usually for the most part. There is no ammunition left in the magazine, and you have to remove the magazine, insert a new magazine, and then load that round into the chamber. There is another type of reload called an administrative reload that is different. We're not going to go into that just now. There is another challenge with that name on it. Some people might have said something in the comment section about why we're using cell phones as a timing device instead of a shot timer. That's because shot timers are not the easiest to get a hold of. You can get them from anywhere, but you still have to go out and shop for them. Everybody's got a cell phone, and every one of these cell phones has a timer function on it. So that's why we're not being precisely down to the microsecond as far as our timing goes, because we want to make this available to everybody else. For this video, we're going to be focusing on the combat reload technique. In other words, how to get a firearm that is completely empty of all ammunition and get it back up and running. There are other aspects to shooting that are even more basic and fundamental than that. Proper stance, grip, sight picture, sight alignment, breath control, trigger control. All of those will be addressed in other YouTube videos, but for the moment, we'll be focusing strictly on the components of a combat reload. And let's get into it. Shooter, go ahead and put ear protection on. I'm going to do the same after I remove it from my belt, where it should have been on my head. It's not on my head, it's on my belt. So I then have to take it off my belt and put it on my head. Hey, I did it.
You did it.
Okay, shooter, load magazines. 1 round per magazine. Baker is using the Nosachowski magazine loading grip, which is basically the same grip that everybody else uses, but I put a name to it. Okay, shooter, go ahead and load magazines into firearm and make ready. All right. Shooter, are you ready?
Good to go.
Fantastic. I'm gonna take a step back out of the line of fire. So this is just to remind you, Baker's only gonna be shooting the pink target. We have one target for this challenge as written up in the course of the challenge. So there we go. Just remind you. Shooter, on your own mark, begin the challenge.
Stand by. Go.
The first step to a combat reload is to remove the magazine once you know the pistol is empty. You can press the magazine release button and let it fall out, or as we see Baker doing, you time the release of the magazine with a flick of the wrist to send it flying. What you don't see is that at the same time the empty magazine is being removed, he is simultaneously reaching for a full magazine so as to not waste what could be precious time. The next step to the process is magazine insertion. Insert sex joke here. God damn it, Baker! The pointer finger of the hand holding the magazine, otherwise known as the offhand, is extended and placed at the top of the magazine to be inserted. This is done to make it easier to find the magazine well, the opening that you insert the loaded magazine into, without having to look at it. Once the loaded magazine is inserted, you must load a round from the magazine into the chamber, known as chambering or racking. There are two main ways to do this. What you see Baker doing is the overhand method. He grabs the slide with his offhand, pulls the slide back until it can't go any further, then releases the slide. Note that he doesn't gently move the slide forward, as that can cause a malfunction. Unfortunately, not all magazine releases are as smooth as the first one. Here, Baker is demonstrating using the slide stop lever, located on the left side of the pistol, above and to the rear of the trigger to release the slide, loading a round from the magazine into the chamber. The slide stop lever is used by pressing down on it, towards the ground, with the thumb of the shooting hand. The choice to use either the overhand or slide stop lever method is entirely up to the shooter, based on personal preference and external things like having the tiny hands of a circus monkey. God damn it, Baker! Let's take a look at Baker demonstrating these two methods in real time.
Your mark. Yep. Stand by. Go.
Clear? All right. I even stopped it a little bit late. You're still
8:64.
well within time. Fantastic. Good job. High five. Yay.
I did it.
Shooter, go ahead and police up your magazines. As for you back there, we're going to see you back at the table because that's our home. Home run.
Yay.
Combat reloading is a relatively simple task, special too. But it can be difficult if you aren't familiar with all of these smaller movements that make up the larger movement. For instance, your firearm position or a proper grip on a magazine.
Reloading isn't just a skill that you can practice on the range with live ammunition. It can be practiced during dry fire using inert or dummy rounds like these that I have here in my hand. This gives the shooter the ability to practice reloading without the pressure or need of live ammunition.
In this video, we've covered the usual movements and problem points that most people have with combat reloading. But because everyone is different, we may not have covered every problem that every person might have with their firearm.
There is the possibility that someone has a different and maybe even better solution to the problems that we face today. If that is the case, please leave a reasoned, well thought out, and grammatically correct response in the comment section of this video, and we'll get right on it.
On the other hand, if a Marine is watching this, we have very low expectations of you, so you're good to go, buddy. Just sit on the couch and sharpen the end of that crayon.
Yeah.
On a serious note, though, being silly here, on a serious note, we chose a challenge that one of us failed in Season 2. But if there are other challenges from Season 2 that you would like to see broken down into winning strategies or any other problems you might personally have with shooting, let us know in the comment section.
To see all of the challenges from NOOB Season 2, visit intuitivedefense.com and click on the Articles tab at the top of the website. Then, scroll down to the subject list on the right side and look for the word noob. Click on that and you'll be good to go.
Ow! That's heavier than it looks. Although we covered some important aspects of information in this video, the most important part is training. If you're interested in training with us, check out our list of training courses on the Intuitive Defense website, linked in the description below.
Oh.
Below.
My bones!
Yeah.
Well, that's it for this episode. Tune in next time for the next installment of the Noob Coaching Series.
See you later. See you later. Wave something.
Bye.